Lying down onto your back. Bring yourself into a neutral position. Take a few nice deep breaths. Feel the back of the rib cage, settle into the floor. Feel the shoulders widen and relax. And just bring that pelvis into a neutral position, resting on your sacrum towards your tailbone. When you're ready, just let your body settle into stillness. Wriggle around as much as you need to till you feel centered as you breathe and connect in with your body. You can see some of you laying in that beautiful sunshine. So breathe in the sunshine. And as you breathe out, just start to let go. Feel where your body's connected to the floor and sink into those places just a little deeper. Feel that little space under the lower back. It's not necessarily a big space, just a feeling of a slight lift in the small of the back. Start to breathe down into the belly, let it rise. And breathe out, let it relax. 2 or 3 more of these, starting to now come into your body to center and start to feel inside. And then after your next exhale, keeping the belly steady, breathe in wide to the ribcage. And as you breathe out, let the ribs just gently close in. 2 or 3 more of those. The belly stays steady, breath just moves wide and into the back of the ribs. See if you can feel the back of the rib cage go a little heavier into the floor. And then that width through the chest. And then just starting to connect in with the muscles of the belly. So same breathing, belly stays steady, breathe in wide to your chest. And as you breathe out, just a little more focus, bringing those ribs in and down. Feel like you draw up from pubic bone to navel to those bottom ribs. Spine and pelvis stay still. 3 or 4 more of these. Feel how the pubic bone, as if it draws up towards your sternum and the ribs come in and down towards your pubic bone. Feel it stabilize and give you strength through that abdominal area, through your center. So staying with this breath, and on your exhale, finding that connection. Float the right leg to 90. And as you breathe in, lower the leg down. On your exhales, raising the left leg and breathe in to lower it down. Let's do 2 more on each side. Leave the rib cage and the pelvis still. And feel that connection. Ribs gently come down, pubic bone to sternum. Enough to hold you steady. Really switch those thigh muscles off. And hold the same weight through the back of the body where you're connected to the floor. When you raise the right leg this time, pause it, knee above the hip, go into bent, fall out. So find that connection, leg rolls out to the right side as ribs come down, pubic bone draws up to the sternum. Feel the hip bones magnetize towards each other. Stay really still through your body. On the next 3, as you get to your edge, see if you can deepen that connection. Ribs go down a little further, pubic bone draws up a little more. And see if you can roll the leg out just a slight bit more. Really hold through this torso, hold it still, maintain that neutral spine. Last one on this side. So that slight bit more, make sure you're not rocking onto the right hip. Bring the leg in and lower it down to the floor. Maintain stability as you bring your left leg up, thigh soft, and roll it out to the left side and roll it back in. Stay really still through the body. Go stronger in the connection, pubic bone to sternum and bottom ribs. Really reach down. See if you can keep the bottom of the back ribs on the floor. And then just start to gently increase your range, finding a deeper connection. Make sure you're not rolling onto that left hip. Stay in the center. Really draw those hip bones together. Bring the leg back in and take it down to the floor. Bring the right leg back up again. Let's go into a slight imprint and bring the left leg up. So take a breath in, exhale, really zip up, pubic bone to navel as both legs arc away, pull the bottom ribs down and breathe in, bring them in. So as the legs arc away, make sure your pelvis doesn't roll back and forward. Keep it small at the back, drawing towards the floor. Get as much connection between your pubic bone and your ribs as you can. Really sink those bottom ribs down and keep it small at the back and the floor. 2 more here. Last one. Bring the legs up, leave them here, reach through the fingertips and bring the arms up. Back of the shoulders go heavy in the floor, still in slight imprint. Lift and lower the shoulders, keeping the back ribs heavy in the floor and the head resting behind the nose. If your thighs are grabbing or the creases are grabbing, just put your feet down onto the floor or bend them in a little more. Do 1 more here. And then breathing in, bring the ribs down as you exhale, arc the arms back, really sink deep in your shoulder sockets and breathe in, roll them back up. Do 5 more here. Back of the ribs, draw down, front ribs press down, shoulders stay wide and go deep down into your shoulder socket so the shoulders stay down away from your ears. Last one, arc the arms back and bring them up. This time go into a circle, so arc them back, pause and then circle within the shoulder socket around and back up to the ceiling and go the other way. Take them down beside you, out to the side, bring those ribs down as you circle around and make sure those shoulders don't lift. Pause at the top, back behind you, ribs down and circle. And last one, opposite direction, bring them down beside you. Draw those ribs down as you circle them around. Keep the shoulders down and bring them to the top. Pause here. This time you're going to breathe in, exhale, ribs down, right arm arcs back as the left leg arcs away. And breathe and bring them up. So focus on left arm going back, right leg down, alternate sides. Draw the small of the back into the floor and draw the ribs down. Zip up, pubic bone to navel. Make the focus, the connection through the torso. Go deeper, see if you can bring those ribs down a little more and draw that skin from the pubic bone to the navel to the bottom ribs. Make sure those shoulders stay down. Go for connection over range, doing 1 more each side. Thighs should stay soft. If they're grabbing, bring the small of the back down more and pull the navel down a little more. Bring the limbs to the top, lower the legs down to the floor and take the arms down beside you. Saying, come back towards neutral, raise the right leg. We're going to go into leg circles. 1, so you can slide the left leg out long, plant the heel into the floor. Leave the right leg bent or straighten it. Take the arms slightly up to the side. So find the connection between the ribs and the pubic bone. Hold the torso steady and start with small circles of the leg. Feel the back of the hips heavy and reach up through the toe. And just feel the ball circling in your hip socket. And keep your pelvis really still. Ribs down, pubic bone zips up towards the sternum. And that sacrum bone is heavy in the floor. Start to challenge your range slowly. Make sure there's no rocking. Keep the shoulders down, the ribs down. Pause at the top and go the other way. So really heavy towards that tailbone, pull it down into the floor, press the back of the left thigh on the floor, reach the leg up, but the back of the hips, pull down. One more here. Come back around to center and lower the leg down, slide it out as you bring the left leg in. So back of the right thigh goes down, ribs down, extend your leg or keep it bent. Keep those hip bones nice and even. Start to circle, reach out through your toes. Feel the toes reaching to the ceiling as the sacrum or the back of the hips pull down in the floor. Same with the ribs. Find that connection up through your torso. And just go for that nice, strong connection through the front of the body. One more going this way. Keep the back of the right thigh pressing. And then circle in the other direction. Out to the side, down and around. Sweep the ball inside of the hip socket. Feel all those attachments around the hip become fluid. Two more this way. Hold that stillness. Feel the arc of the circle. And come back around to the top. Bend the leg and lower it down to the floor. Bring the arms in beside you. Set up for bridging. Rest down towards the tailbone for the little space of your lumbar. And then start to roll up through the sacrum. Keep the ribs pressing in the floor as you go through the lumbar spine. Really squeeze the buttocks so that the tailbone keeps squeezing those buttocks. And then feel how between those the upper spine peels up really easily. Breathe in at the top, keep those buttocks squeezed, and exhale, roll each vertebrae down heavy. And sink the small of the back into the floor, let the buttocks go, roll to the tailbone. Make sure the shoulders are staying down, relaxed and wide. Peeling up slowly, keep the back ribs heavy, squeeze the butt, and then just peel up through that upper spine as the pubic bone keeps pressing to the ceiling. Breathe in and exhale, heavy vertebrae, feel each one. Roll them down like a little steamroller through the small of the back and down to the tailbone. Time will stay up at the top. Sink through the small of the back. Keep those back ribs heavy as long as you can. Really get into those glute muscles and then lift. So I'm going to do a few breaths at the top here. Breathe in and as you exhale, ribs draw in and down towards the pubic bone and follow pubic bone to navel to ribs. Do two more breaths here and see if you can connect even stronger ribs and pubic bone. Make sure the shoulders don't lift. Leave them out of it. And you should go deeper into those buttock creases. And then exhale, roll down through the spine. Really bring the small of the back down and roll down along the sacrum to the tailbone. Just bring the legs into the chest for a moment, small of the back and the floor, and rock side to side. Just feel that little stretch and loosening of the buttocks. Take the feet, roll them around in a circle to loosen off the ankles. And then come back to center and take the feet back down to the floor. So find that neutral again. Coming back up into a bridge. Back ribs heavy as you heel up the lower spine. Really squeeze those sit bones together and lift one vertebra at a time through the upper back. So press down through the right foot. Keep the hips even. And exhale, roll the left leg up. Extend it out or up to the ceiling, bring it in and roll it down to the floor. Press down into it, really squeeze that left buttock, float the right leg. Extend it out, bring it back in and roll it down to the floor. One more each side, squeeze the right buttock, hips stay even. Find that connection through your torso, pubic bone and ribs, still reach towards each other. And that was one of the last two, and then roll the spine down. Small of the back and the floor, and roll away to the tailbone. One more bridging here, heel up. Hold at the top, find that connection, ribs, pubic bone towards each other, open the knees out to the side, roll onto the edges of the feet, and then roll the knees in. So as the legs roll out and in, keep the pelvis really still. Reach the ribs down, pubic bone up towards the ribs, and tail reaches really long. The torso stays really still. Got two more here. And hold that connection through the front. Last one. Roll them in and roll down smoothly through the spine. And we'll just come into some hamstring stretches. Stretch your legs out first and just give a little bit of a shake on the floor. Bounce the knees up and down. And then bent legs, bring the right leg up. Hands can interlink around behind the thigh. Just get the thigh in. Take the toes down towards you and then press them away. Do that 2 or 3 more times, flexing and extending your ankle, and then take the foot around in a circle and back around the other way. Draw the toes down towards you, take a breath in, exhale, draw those ribs in and down, press the back thigh into the hands, reach the heel towards the ceiling, and feel the back of the hips really heavy. So we're resting on your sacrum, draw it down, reach your tail long, press the back of the thigh into the hands, doesn't have to straighten the leg. And the heel reaches up as the toes draw down. You could move your foot here if you like, and sometimes help to ease that connective tissue. Take 2 more breaths here. And as you breathe out, feel that drawing up from pubic bone to navel, ribs reach in and down towards the hip bones. Keep the spine still. Reach that right sit bone through your buttock to the end of the mat. And then breathe in, bend the leg, bring it down. Bring your left leg up. Bring the thigh right in. Just work with the ankle first. Draw the toes towards you and then away. Flex and extend your ankle. And then take the foot round in a circle and back around the other way. Draw the toes down, start to press the back of the thigh into the hands. When you feel enough stretch, just pause. Back of the hips heavy. Feel like your sit bone reaches down towards the end of the mat and the heel extends towards the ceiling. Feel the back of the thigh, press into those hands. And then breathe. As you inhale, fill up, and as you breathe out, breaths draw in and down, draw that skin of the belly to the navel and up towards those bottom ribs. Keep the shoulders soft, reach that left sit bone towards the heel, towards the end of the mat. And then breathing in, release the legs. Rock them side to side. Bring them into the chair, bring them in and up, feet and knees together, arms come out wide, keep the knees together, the shoulders down, and just a nice gentle rotation of the pelvis over to the right. Make sure the knees don't slip past each other, back to center and over to the left. Come back to center, so the back of the left hip heels, the knees stay together, the shoulders stay down, back to center, and over to the left. One more each side. Feel the back of the left ribs down as the legs go right. And the back of the right ribs down as the legs go left. Come back through to center and lower the legs down to the floor. Coming into chest lifts, interlink the hands behind your head, lengthen through the base of the skull, lift the elbows, neutral spine. Take a breath in and exhale, peel the head, each vertebrae lifts one at a time, bottom ribs sink down and breathe in as you roll down. So just do 3 or 4 or more of these basic ones. Notice as your pelvis coming towards you, keep it really still. Go deeper into the bottom ribs, reaching down towards the hip bones or towards the floor. Keep that sacrum, press it into the floor, but draw the belly skin from the pubic bone to the navel, to those bottom ribs reaching down. This time when you peel up, float the right leg up and lower down to the floor. Peel up, float the left leg. Use the connection, pubic bone and bottom ribs. Keep alternating sides. Lift the base of the skull to the ceiling as you come up. Keep the elbows wide. Draw those bottom ribs in and down. This time when you come up, float the right leg, ribs down, drawing that belly skin, extend the right leg out and in 4 times. As the leg goes away, hollow through the belly and pull those bottom ribs down a little more. Last one, bring the leg in and roll the spine down, lower the leg to the floor. Coming up onto the other side, left leg. Ribs sink down, leg extends out and in 4 times. Awesome, looks good. Keep scooping pubic bone to navel, to bottom ribs. Bring the leg in, roll down, lower the leg down to the floor. Take a breath in and exhale. Heel the torso, float the right leg. Take a breath in here and exhale. Rib cage rotates left, their leg extends away. Breathe in back to center. Torso left, leg extends. And breathe in. Steady and hollow through the navel even more. Keep that pelvis really still. One more. Really scoop up that belly. Back to center and roll down. Lower the leg to the floor. Hang in there. One more side. Heel up. Float the left leg. Navel really hollows. Rotate right. Extend the left leg. And breathe in back to center. Feel like you draw that belly in, up and under your ribs. 2 more. And reach those ribs down to your hip bones. Back to center and roll down. Lower the leg. Oh, give those muscles a little massage if you need to. And rock those knees side to side. Breathe nice and deep here. You come into a double leg stretch. Leg the head down onto the floor. Sink the small of the back down into a slight imprint. Float the legs up one at a time. And bring the hands onto the sides of the knees. Relax your shoulders. So take a breath in, exhale, ribs down, scoop the belly skin in, extend the arms and legs up and out as much as you keep the small of the back and the floor. Circle the arms around, bring the legs in. So imprint the spine, ribs down, extend, circle the arms, bring the legs in. Keep going. Draw that skin up, pubic bone to navel to bottom ribs, and circle the arms. Let's do 3 more. Back ribs down, small of the back, pull that pubic bone up towards those ribs. Really strong through those abdominals, rock them up a bit. Scoop up the belly. Last one, make sure the spine's not lifting. Pull it down. And circle, bring it in. And we'll lower the legs down to the floor. Let's come on to your side. We're going to do just a little twist here. So interlink your hands behind your head, bend the knees up. Keep your knees together and breathe in. Take the elbow to the ceiling and exhale. Keep the knees pressed, rotate the rib cage. Breathe in and exhale, coming back over. Inhale as the elbow comes up and exhale. Really open the right side of the chest. Feel like the left shoulder reaches to the left. Breathe in and exhale as you come back, and do 1 more here. Inhale, open the elbow and exhale, spiral. Breathe in and exhale, rotate back. And then just roll over onto your other side. Interlink your hands behind your head, bend up the knees. Keep the knees together as you inhale, left elbow to the ceiling. And exhale, Spiral around the spine and open. Take a breath in and exhale, rolling back. 2 more in your own time. Reach the right shoulder forward as the back of the left shoulder comes back. And last one. Good. And we're going to roll over onto the bellies. So just going to stay up on the forearms. You're going to have one hand on top of the other, or you can interlink the hands and press them down into the floor. So I want you to tip your pelvis back. So the hip bones are resting on the floor. I want you to tip them back and lift them off the floor and press down through the pubic bone. Keep those hip bones lifted and pressing back and feel the navel drawing in. The head, the chin is down towards the chest slightly. So you're going to take a breath in and exhale. Reach through the right leg, squeeze the back of the thigh and just hover the leg. Don't lose it in the pelvis. Lower it down. Reach through the left leg and lift. So you're going to go really deep in those hamstrings. Alternate sides. Really lengthen the leg along the floor. Keep it really long as you lift. So go right up into the buttock crease. Make sure those hip bones stay away from the floor. Find connection through the center. Pubic bone draws up to the sternum and the ribs reach down to the hip bones. You do one more each side. So you can hollow up that pubic bone to the navel. Good. And then come all the way down to the floor. Take the hands beside you, beside the rib cage, tuck the elbows in. Nose just above, actually just rest the head down on the floor to the side. So we just want to find a connection through the torso in this prone position. So you're going to take a breath in, and as you breathe out, draw up pubic bone to navel, reach the bottom ribs down towards the pubic bone. You should feel your pelvis slightly tilt back and those ribs heavy in the floor. Hold that, belly steady as you breathe in to the back and the sides of the ribs. And then as you breathe out, draw pubic bone to navel, bottom ribs reach down to those hip bones, really strong. See if you can start to hollow the belly up away from the floor. Keep that tail reaching long. Now hold that. Bring your head back to center. So you might not be able to come up as high. That's fine. Go for connection. So breathe in. Find that connection. And then reach the elbows back and peel up. Your bottom ribs are still reaching for the pubic bone, drawing up. Breastbone forward. Gaze goes slightly forward. Inhale here as you widen your chest even more. And exhale as you come back down, nose hovering. Keep the legs long and straight. Exhale, find that connection and peel up. Reach those elbows back, widen the shoulders, continue to press that breastbone forward a little more, and then rolling down. So go deep, really strong connection through the abdominals, elbows reach, shoulders wide, breastbone presses forward, and down. Do 2 more. Really work those upper vertebrae. Make sure you're not throwing the head back, so keep the neck nice and long. Find connection through the abdominals and then press that breastbone forward, elbows back, and breathe in. Come down, rest the head to the side, relax the legs, bend them up if you need to, move the feet, take a few breaths. So this time you're going to come up to the pelvis. So we're going to keep pressing the pubic bone into the floor. The arms will stay slightly bent. So just take a breath here, exhaling, ribs drawn and down, pubic bone up towards the ribs, and press the pelvis in the floor. Hold it there, breathe in, and exhale. Reach back through the elbows, heel through the bottom ribs, and then come up, pressing that pelvis in the floor. Keep pressing your hip bone back. Breathe in here and exhale, smoothly roll down. Keep the legs engaged. Breathe in And exhale, elbows reach, heel up, find that connection, pubic bone and ribs, press the pelvis in the floor, breathe in, gaze is just forward of your mat. And then exhale, smoothly roll down, keep those buttocks squeezed until the ribs come down to the floor. 2 more. Healing up, elbows reach back, hip bones back, navel and ribs reaching down. Really squeeze into those buttocks. Breathe in and exhale, slowly rolling down. And just 1 more. Take a breath in and exhale, roll back down. Bring the hands under the head, bend the legs up, and just gently rock them out side to side. So we're going to take that into a little swan dive. So take the legs down to the floor. Bring the hands beside your rib cage and reach the elbows back. You're going to go slow to start. So take a breath in and exhale. Find connection. Heel to the bottom ribs. Come up, pressing the pelvis into the floor. Keep those hip bones pressing back. Breathe in. And then exhale, rolling down. Extend and press the legs long and straight. Squeezing at those buttock presses. Breathe in as you come up. And exhale as you come down. So torso comes up, legs go down. And torso comes down, leg comes up. Okay, let's do a few rolling ones. So stay with that or come up, breathe in, exhale, roll down, lift the hands and breathe in up. Exhale down, breathe in up. 1 more time. And then slowly rolling down to the floor. Great. Bend up those legs and just gently swing them up. And back around the other way. Just do a quad stretch here. So bend up your right leg, reach behind, catch your foot, rest the head on your left arm. So as you breathe out, pubic bone draws up, ribs draw in and down. Tailbone will naturally go back and the front of the hip comes down into the floor. Feel the length down through your right thigh to your knee. As you breathe out, keep drawing up from the pubic bone to the navel and the ribs reach in and down. Relax into the stretch, but keep the abdominals, the torso, finding that connection. And breathe in, release, switch to the other side. So find that connection through your breath. And as you find that connection, it should release the quads to stretch a little more as you hold in your torso. 2 more breaths here. Tail reaching long. And then breathe in, release the leg. Let's come on to the side. So come up onto the forearm, bottom leg bent, elbow under shoulder, lift up through the side of the body, press the elbow into the floor. Take a breath in and exhale, reach through the leg nice and long. So find connection here as you breathe out, zip up from the base, bring the ribs in and down, widen the shoulders. Hold connection and steadiness as you circle the leg. So as you hold this connection and draw the pubic bone and the ribs together, it should feel freer to lengthen the leg longer. And then change direction. Reach really long through the side of the hip and hollow above that pubic bone to the navel and bring these ribs in and down. Pause, flex the foot, breathe in, and exhale, bring it forward, point the toes, and inhale back. Hold connection once again, zip through the front, keep pressing through the elbow. If you need to take the arm long and rest down on the floor, that's fine. As the leg goes back, really draw up from the base. Good, and then a few pulses. So flex, pulse, pulse forward, pointing back. Hold connection, hold your torso still. Pulse, pulse, and back. Last two. And pulse, pulse, and back. Bring the leg in and slide the arm up long. So take two long legs, lift the bottom waist up and stretch through the side of the hip. Relax this top shoulder in its socket. Look down, make sure you can see your toes. Just take a couple of breaths here. As you breathe out, find that connection through the belly and reach the ribs down towards the hip bones. Bottom hip presses in the floor. As you exhale, raise the top leg, reach and lift the bottom one to it. And lower them both down. Feel the center of the bottom hip, really heavy in the floor. Top leg lifts, reach from the hip as you lift the bottom one and lower. Time to lift the top leg, gonna leave it there. Reach through the bottom one, use the inner thighs to lift up and lower. Inner thighs, engage and lift. Keep connecting, pubic bone to navel, ribs reaching down towards those hip bones. Two more here. Hold the leg up this time and breathe in. Scissor the legs open, don't go too wide, and exhale, cross. Hold connection and stay really still through the body. Feel the hollow through the belly, tail reaching long, and the legs long and straight. And let's do two more here. Bring them back together and lower them down to the floor. Bend the top leg in and just loosen off that buttock. All right, let's come up and do the other side. So coming on to the forearm, top leg out long. Press the elbow into the floor and lift up the torso and roll the shoulder back and down. Find connection as you exhale, extend and lift and breathe in down. Keep lifting away from the floor. Really find a strong connection, ribs down towards those hip bones and hollowing up through the belly. Stretching that leg nice and long. On the next one, lift, flex the foot, breathe in, bring the leg forward, and exhale, pointing back. So find connection through the torso to hold it still, and feel the ball moving smoothly in your hip socket. Reach out long through your tailbone. Good. Last one, squeeze the back of the thigh as you bring the leg back and then flex the foot. Breathe in, pulse, pulse, and exhale back. Exhale, find connection, pulse, pulse, and back. It's just better if you breathe in and pulse the leg forward and exhale back. Last one. Hold steady. And lower the leg down. Slide your arm out long, just bring the leg in, give that buttock a loosen. Stretch out your two legs long and lift the waist off the floor and slightly bring the legs forward. So just take a breath in and exhale. Reset this connection in this position. And then when you're ready, extend, raise the top leg, bottom hip in the floor, reach the bottom leg out and up, and then lower. Connect in, stay really steady, lift and lift. Feel the stretch out from the hip on both legs. Draw those ribs and pubic bone together, hollow through those abdominals, and rest on that bottom hip. Waist lifted. This time leave the top leg up, reach through the bottom one and lift and lower. Feel the inner thigh. Stretch the leg from the hip all the way down and up. Do 3 more. Really feel the outer ear side of that bottom leg reach long, right down to the ankle. Lift, hold connection through your torso and start to scissor the legs. So if you feel wobbly and your hand is heavy on the floor, really draw that pubic bone up, hollow to the navel and pull the ribs down. More torso connection will stabilize you. Do 1 more each side. Make sure you don't tilt the pelvis side. Don't tuck the tail under. Reach it long. Oh, bring those legs together. Lower down to the floor. Bend in the top leg and just loosen off that buttock. Great. Let's come back up onto hands and knees. And we'll just do a butt stretch in a sleeping swan. So the right knee. Going to slide up towards the right hand. The foot comes across just in front of your left knee. Slide your left leg back and sit back into that right buttock. Roll the hips side to side. So you can come down on the forearms or stay on the hands and bring the buttock back and down towards the floor and then over to the other side. Sit bone reaches back into that glute muscle. Pause and hold wherever you get the best stretch. Take a couple of breaths and draw that belly in and up. And then breathe in. Come up onto your hands and switch over. Left knee slides forward, foot goes across and slide back with the right leg. So the hands will come onto the forearms and roll side to side. As you roll out to the left side, press the sit bone into your buttock. And then pause where you get the best stretch. Just breathe into it. And then breathe in, come all the way up. Just come back into child's pose. Take a nice deep stretch here and just take a few breaths. And then breathe in, come up onto your hands and your knees. Find your neutral here. Draw the shoulders down and wide. Little space of the lower back. Take a breath in and exhale. Draw up the navel. Find connection through the front. Right fingertips, left toes, glide out. Lift, keep them straight. Lower. And just lift and lower. Feel the pubic bone and the bottom of the ribs reach towards each other. Squeeze in the buttock crease. And do 2 more. This time lift, pause here, hold your midline, and take the limbs slightly out to the side and back in. Pubic bone draws up to navel, ribs reach down. Hold that connection through the front body. Bring the limbs in, lower them down. Now bend them, slide them in. Rest your weight into them. Hold your neutral, slide out left fingertips, right toes. Even up your hips, shoulders down wide. Find connection through your torso, lift and lower. Keep that left shoulder down and wide. Neck is long. Now pull the pubic bone and the ribs towards each other and hollow up that tummy in between. 2 more. This time lift, hold that connection through the front and out to the side and in. Keep your center line still. Keep the hip bones even. Last one, hollow that belly up to the navel. Bring them in, lower down, slide them back in. Rest back, buttocks to heels. Walk your hands around to the right. Find that nice stretch through the side body. As you breathe out, scoop up the belly. Hollow up to the navel, navel draws to the spine. And then breathe in, walk the hands around to the left side. Hollow up, navel lifts to the spine. And that right shoulder sinks down, right side of the rib cage sinks down. And breathe in, come back to center. Come back up onto your hands and knees. Tuck your toes and lift up to a mountain. So you're going to breathe in and walk the hands back towards the feet. Bend the knees as you need to. And then breathe in and exhale, roll up, tailbone down. Pubic bone lifts to navel, ribs reach down to hips, and stay all the way up through the spine. So we're going to balance onto the right foot here. Fingertips go long. We're going to slide the left toes back. Pause here, keep your hip bones even, and squeeze the right thigh. And then you're going to raise the left leg up. And then breathe in, bring the arms down towards the floor. And exhale, take them back. Take them down and lift. And one more time, squeeze the back of that right thigh and lift and lower the toe down to the floor and slide it in. Other side, balance onto that left leg, slide the right toes back. So this left leg can stay straight, even up the hip bones as much as you can. And then exhale, raise the right leg. And then breathe in, take the arms down towards the floor and exhale back. And down, find connection through your torso. One more time with the arms. And lower the toe to the floor and slide the leg all the way back in. So bring the hands onto the hips, bend into the knees. Just take a breath here and hollow, pubic bone to navel, to those bottom ribs, reach them in and down towards your hip bones. Balance onto the right foot and glide the left leg out. And hold the right leg really still. Hold connection through your torso. This time glide it out, sweep it around behind you, bring it back to the side and in. Two more of those. Ribs and pubic bone towards each other. Last one. Bring them back around and exhale and come up with those legs a little shake. Come back down into squat, shoulders down, hollow in and up, navel, ribs down to hips. Right leg glides out and in. Keep that left leg bent and still. And hollow, pull that navel to the spine. Take the leg out to the side, sweep it around the back, bring it back around and in. To the side, pull that navel in. Two more. Great, last one. And bring it all the way in. Come all the way up to stand. Give the shoulders a roll. And just move those hips around in a circle. Wriggle into the body. And just bounce into the knees. And give the body a little shake up. Let the arms just really go. Bounce into the heels a little if you like. Breathe nice and long and deep, and sigh it out. Great, we're going to stand back onto the ends of the mat. We're going to tie the belly there. Heels fist width apart, lean into the toes, squeeze in the back of the thighs, lean forward, and now start to round over and roll down through the spine. Sweep up that belly, reach the ribs to the hips, bend the knees, hands to the floor, walking forward to either a mountain or a plank. And actually, let's take the knees down to the floor. So come back to a tabletop, wrists under shoulders, knees under hips. Long neck. Lean forward so the shoulders come over the fingertips. Connect through the torso and then bend into the elbow, shoulders coming over the fingertips and straighten. Go as far as you can hold your body weight and then push up. Keep the elbows drawing back in beside the rib cage. Do 3 more, shoulders down and wide. Keep the neck long, just bend the elbow, spine stays in its neutral. Last one. And push back up. Slide the legs through, come through to a sit. Shake out those arms. Give the shoulders a little roll here. So taking the legs out to the right side if it's comfortable. Otherwise, sitting cross-legged or butterfly and coming into some side arcs. Fingertips out to the side. Breathe in, bring the right arm up. Tip the rib cage over, lift the ribs to the ceiling, breathe in, and exhale over to the other side. Lift those ribs. So just remember to keep your shoulders down away from your ears, to keep your pelvis still, and just move the rib cage. Coming back over to the right side, coming into rotation, bring the arm down, navel in, turn your rib cage, left ribs go back, and twist around, unwind slightly. So right ribs go back, left ribs come around, unwind slightly, and one more time, pull the navel in, reach those ribs to your hip bone, back to center, and come all the way back up. Swing your legs to the other side. Feel free to sit in a cross leg or a butterfly. Bring the left arm up. Keep the ribs down towards the hips as you arc over. And then up and over to the other side. As you come over to this right side, pull those bottom right ribs in. And pull those bottom left ribs in. One more. And over to the side, bring the arm down, rotate, really bring these right ribs around. And unwind slightly. And bring them around. Unwind. And last one. And unwind up to the top. And stretch the legs out long. So really bring those sit bones down into the floor, rock the hips side to side. Grow the spine tall, and as you breathe out, connect these ribs in and down and draw up pubic bone to navel to ribs. Inhale, bring the arms out, and exhale, roll them back in your sockets. Press the sit bones into the floor, and exhale, scoop up through the belly. Bring those bottom ribs back and round over. Really hollow, pubic bone to navel to ribs. And then breathe in, stack back up. Exhale, scoop in and up through the belly. The ribs reach down to the hips and round over. And then breathe in, up. And one more. Really find that connection. Pull that belly skin into the navel to those bottom ribs. And breathe in, stack up. Take the arms out to the side. Navel in and exhale. Rotate to the right. Breathe in back to center. Keep your legs still and just your torso rotates. Inhale back to center and exhale around to the other side. Inhale to center and exhale. Twist and go into saw. Hollow the navel, round, come forward. Reach out through the fingertips. Breathe and come back up. Good, nice. Rotate to the side, come forward. Scoop through the belly. Do one more each side. Inhale to center, exhale, rotate, hollow in that belly. Really pull that navel in. Good. Nice, both of you. And to the other side and over. Come all the way up to sitting. And bring the arms out. Exhale, tail under, scoop, pubic bones to navel to bottom ribs. Press the back of the thighs down. Take a breath in. And exhale, round forward, really holding through those bellies and stack up tall. Two more. Tail under, scoot up to the navel, bottom ribs down, round back. And then come forward and stack tall. And this time rolling all the way down, tail under. Really hollow this lower belly. The navel draws in, the ribs reach to the hips, the back of the thighs press, and smoothly roll down through the spine. Bend out the legs, bring them into the chest, gently rock side to side. Take them around in a circle. Back around the other way. And then take the legs down to the floor. Either bent or straight. Just coming into a short relax, allowing the body to absorb what it's done. Just take a few deep breaths, stretch out if you need to. And just sigh when you want the breath out and let the body sink down into the floor. Start to feel your bones let go. Feel your muscles soften. Feel your joints relax. Just naturally let your breath slow down and start to feel the whole body as if it's softly breathing. And as you really fully relax, you feel those sensations moving through your tissues. So allow those sensations to reach all the way into your hands and your feet. As the blood moves through the muscles and the water moves through your connective tissue, your ligaments and your tendons. Feel the scalp and the skull bones relax and your brain resting within the skull. And just start to take a few long, deep breaths. So you want to breathe out. Bend the knees if the legs are straight. Roll to your side and slowly bring yourself up to sitting. Give your shoulders a little roll here. Move the spine around whichever way you like. And then slowly bring yourself all the way up to stand. We're just going to finish by having a little bounce here. Wriggle the hips. Let the arms shake. Pause at the center and take the head round in a slow, lazy circle. And back around in the other direction. Bring the head up to center as you breathe in. Take the arms wide, reach into the ceiling, and exhale. Flow them all the way down. And we're all done.